Hey guys, good morning. Let's talk about some issues with kidneys and the ketogenic diet. So before we get started, have you hit the subscribe button down there and the little bell so that you get a notification every time I make one of these videos. Hopefully it's helping you out with your journey with the ketogenic life, or maybe someone you know, your family member or loved one. That struggles with comorbidities like diabetes. That's one that I had, and that's why I have become steadfast in the ketogenic way of life. So, anyways, for those of you that don't know, I'm a registered nurse. I work in the emergency department. My YouTube channel is Tim Crouch Keto RN, and I would love for you guys to share it with your friends and family. So anyway, let's get started. So one of the concerns with the ketogenic diet is people say that it is damaging to the kidneys because of the high protein. The ketogenic diet is not a high protein diet, despite what many people confuse it to be. The ketogenic diet is a high fat, moderate protein, low carbohydrate diet. And I would suggest that on the ketogenic diet that you are hard pressed to be consuming enough protein that you're going to be damaging your kidneys. It's not like you're just consuming 100% protein all the time. And even if you were, for those of you that know or have done the ketogenic diet, or for anyone that's not doing the ketogenic diet for that matter, that goes to a steakhouse. How many of you eat 2 or 3 steaks? It doesn't happen. Nobody overeats meat for that matter. I know for myself, overeating used to be I would go to McDonald's, get yourself a 2 cheeseburger meal and large size it, and get the large fries, and then you get a McChicken on the side, and then then you're getting dessert afterwards, a Blizzard or McFlurry at McDonald's, or an apple pie and a cone, whatever. But so let's dissect that meal, okay? The 2 cheeseburger meal. Where's the protein in that? It's from those tiny little thin burger patties and whatever minuscule amount of protein that they've put into that fake cheese slice that goes on those cheeseburgers, right? So the amount of protein that you're getting in that meal right there is minimal. And then the McChicken, however much protein is in that fake chicken patty, it's chicken, but who knows what else, right? I mean, it's not the 100% pure lean cuts of chicken coming out of that animal or that bird that's going into that sandwich. And then your dessert is ice cream and candy and whatever else. So here is where the problem lies. So the instance of kidney failure has doubled since the 1970s, whenever they changed the dietary guidelines after all that we've talked about the Ansel Keys 7-country study, and after President Eisenhower had his heart attack. The dietary guidelines kind of started to change from that time. That was a cornerstone of when everything started to change. And we have adopted the higher carbohydrate, lower saturated fat way of living. So when you look at that diet, the kidneys are damaged by increased levels of glucose and insulin. High levels of glucose and insulin in the blood is very damaging to the kidneys. It damages the small arteries of the kidney. Anybody that's diabetic knows that every year you have to go get a diabetic eye exam, and the reason they do that is because the blood vessels that are in the eye are very small, much like the ones that are in the kidneys. So they can kind of take that information, and if your eyes are being damaged, then you know well that your kidneys are also being damaged at the same time. So anyways, back to what I was saying. So the damage to the kidney, you start to have blood vessel damage in the kidney. The kidney begins to have tissue damage, and then it is not as effective at filtering out toxins and those types of things. So the kidney damage that's happening today, and the reason that it's doubled since the 70s, is because of the increased carbohydrate intake that America, and sugar, not just straight carbohydrates, but which we know carbohydrates break down to glucose in the blood, but also the sugar that we consume directly in the form of candy and ice creams and cakes and all these things that are readily available to us that didn't used to be as highly processed. Even back in the day, I mean, if you look at a Twinkie in the 70s and a Twinkie today, the difference is astronomical. I mean, they're high fructose corn syrup and those kinds of things that are very damaging to the liver, and very toxic in the blood, to your blood vessels and your kidneys. So I mean, you look at it. I mean, and I was watching another video, and the comment was made that the dialysis clinics, how. And it's true to myself. Whenever I grew up in a small town, Wenatchee, Washington. It's kind of much bigger now, but there's a river that divides Wenatchee, Washington, and East Wenatchee, Washington, the Columbia River, and so I don't even recall there being a dialysis clinic in Wenatchee whenever I was growing up as a kid, and now there is one in Wenatchee, and there's also one in East Wenatchee. The instance of the dialysis clinics popping up in every town, I mean, that should be an indication to people that, hey, what's going on here? We really need to look at our diet and what's going on. We're killing our kidneys on the standard American diet. I mean, it's just a fact of life. And the ketogenic diet, it's protective of the kidneys because you're reducing your insulin, you're reducing your blood sugar, and that is very helpful and healing to the kidneys. The other thing that you can do is introduce intermittent and extended fasting to increase your autophagy, which is very healing for the body. You're giving yourself gut rest. Your gut is restoring itself. Your body's restoring itself by cleaning out all of the damaged and erratic cells that are going on by autophagy, breaking that stuff down and getting it out of your system so that your body is just overall more healthy. So that's another way that you can protect your kidneys. But the most important thing is that you correct the way that you eat, and start working on getting your blood sugar and your insulin levels under control, so that you're not damaging your kidneys further. The two things that are most damaging to the two things that cause kidney damage. The top two are diabetes and high blood pressure, hypertension. And those things destroy your kidneys by destroying the blood vessels. Again, diabetes with insulin resistance, having high levels of insulin, high levels of blood sugar, and then also hypertension. The high blood pressure is damaging to those little blood vessels in the kidneys. So you just need to get things on track and implement the ketogenic way of life. It's a moderate protein. It's not high protein like a lot of people think. You're just eating a bunch of meat. That's not the case. For the most part, I don't know anyone that's going to sit down and overeat meat. I mean, even the people that do carnivore, I mean, you're just not going to sit down and eat, 2 16-ounce ribeye steaks and just gorge on meat. Your body will tell you, hey, I'm full. Your hormone, your full hormones, your ghrelin, your leptin, all those kinds of things you'll be more sensitive to those, and you'll be able to tell when you're full. So anyways, I hope this video has helped you guys out. I hope that you share it with someone, maybe someone that that has kidney failure, kidney failure, kidney damage, any kidney concerns at all. and then this will hopefully help them understand and get on the right track. So I appreciate you guys a lot. I enjoy making these videos, and I hope you guys enjoy watching them, and I hope they're helpful, and I hope they're not too complicated and easy enough for everyone to understand and use. So anyways, you guys have a great day, and we'll see you next time.